Hope everyone is doing well today. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit more about recycling. Now, I know we've talked a lot about recycling off and on through these videos, and for those of you that have seen me or Miss Mika in class, we have probably talked a lot about recycling. One of the little details that I wanted to point out to you all today is I know we've talked a lot about that recycling symbol, those chasing arrows there that makes a triangle that lets you know that something is able to be recycled, right? Like, for instance, our plastics, they'll have those chasing arrows, that recycling symbol, that triangle on there, and inside it will be a number, right? And we know that if it's a number 1 or a number 2, that plastic can be recycled right here in Cott County. We can take it to our convenience center and it will get recycled and made into something new. The new symbol that we haven't talked about in these videos, and not much this year in school at all, is this symbol here. Do you see how that symbol is our triangle, our chasing arrows? But it has a circle around it, doesn't it? And that means something just a little bit different. That means that the material has already been recycled. That means that is a product that is made from recycled content. And this could be a number of things. And like Miss Mika had told you about, for example, we were talking about aluminum. She talked a lot about aluminum and how aluminum can be recycled over and over and over again forever, right? And each material is a little bit different. Some materials can be recycled many times, or like that amazing aluminum can be recycled over and over again forever and ever. But some items can only be recycled so many times before they begin to break down, and it's hard to continue to make new items out of them. So when we see that product that's made from recycled content, sometimes we might want to choose that one, maybe even choose to pay a little bit more for an item that's made from recycled, because we know that that manufacturer is being a little bit environmentally wise and has already been reusing other materials to make new materials from them, okay? So just a cool little tip to keep in mind when we're looking at those recycling symbols, the difference in them both, okay? So, I know we've talked about this a lot, but let's just go over really quick again all the things that we can recycle right here in Cott County. We know those plastic number 1s and number 2s, like our water bottles and our milk jugs, some laundry, detergent bottles, all kinds of good plastics, right? We know that in normal times we can recycle our mixed paper and our cardboard. Right now we're probably not taking those, so that's why we find all kinds of good ways to reuse them around. Or sometimes there are different facilities taking care of animals that we might be able to donate them to, or someone else that might find ways to get use out of them. And we can recycle, of course, the metal and aluminum. That stuff is valuable, so it's important that we're recycling the metal and the aluminum, right? And some places recycle glass. Here in Cott County, we do not recycle glass, unfortunately, but glass is a recyclable material. That means it is possible to recycle it, even though we're not recycling it here, right? And those newspapers go with our mixed papers. Newspapers in some places are materials that are sometimes made from recycled content, okay? So you all are probably recycling experts at this point. I bet you all already know a lot about recycling. One other thing I wanted to share with you really quickly that I don't think we've talked much about yet on our videos. Fun little craft that should be pretty easy that I think everyone can probably do, that I will share before I say goodbye, is that we talk about waste, right? Which is our waste. It can be many different kinds of things. It's just when we're done using something, that's what's left over, right? Okay. There's pre-consumer waste and there's post-consumer waste. So all of our waste as the consumer is post-consumer waste. Pre means before and post means after. So for people like you and me, we're the consumer. We're the person that buys the items, right, and uses the items. And all of our waste, all of our garbage, our compost, our recyclables, all that is all post-consumer waste. Because after we're done using something, that's what we have left over. We, the purchaser, right? We, the user. Now, pre-consumer waste, that is the waste that's generated during the manufacturing process. So before an item is even made for and put on the shelves for us to buy, it has already created some kinds of waste. So those can be things like industrial scraps, different kinds of trimmings, any kind of extras that are not needed, that aren't able to be put into the item that's going to be purchased and bought by us, the consumer, right? So those pre-consumer wastes. And I talk a lot to my kiddos in class about how it's important for us as individuals to educate ourselves as much as we can and learn as much as we can about where we're buying our materials from and how those manufacturers are making those materials. Those manufacturers are impacting our environment. How much pre-consumer waste are they generating? Are they doing any kind of polluting or dumping? Are they doing anything to contribute back to our environment and our communities? So just a little food for thought there, okay? So remember those chasing arrows and that new one we've just learned today. That is the chasing arrows that we're so familiar with a circle around it, right? And that means it is made from recycled content, okay? So if you see a notebook on the shelf and it has that chasing arrow with the circle around it, then that means that it is made from recycled paper. How cool is that? It could have been somebody's old homework or an old newspaper or anything, and it's getting used again. So sometimes it might be worth it just to pay a couple dollars more to get that notebook rather than the notebook that was made from fiber from trees that had just been chopped down. So just a little something to think about. And now, here with you, my daughter made this one today. What you'll need is some scissors. You're going to need one of our good handy dandy toilet paper rolls. You're going to need some kind of scrap paper or even cardboard or paperboard like our cereal boxes and things are made out of. We use a leftover piece of cardstock for ours. We're making a rocket ship. And my little girl loves Legos, so I stuck a Lego minifigure astronaut in hers. Is that cool? Look at that. Flying through space. Okay. What you're going to do, you younger kids are going to need a grown-up or a bigger kid to help with this. You're going to get your toilet paper roll, and you're going to kind of flatten down one edge of it just like that. And then we're going to make a little cut in the top and a little cut a little bit lower. Not too far. This is going to make our opening so that our little space person, our little astronaut can sit in there. And then you're going to cut that on one side there. And cut the other side, and what you're going to have is just a little square cut out like that. And then you'll cut your cardstock or paperboard or just a plain old sheet of paper or cardboard, just anything really, whatever you got lying around, into a kind of a triangle shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. Ours is not perfect. But cut it into a kind of triangle shape. And you might want to use some craft glue or a glue gun for this. But Elmer's glue or a glue stick will work just fine. Just whatever you've got lying around. You're going to decorate it there with, we use markers, whatever you got, crayons, pencils, pens. Decorate it, make it nice and colorful and fun to look at. And you could get real fancy and glue the ends in there if you wanted to. We just crumpled up some scrap paper and stuffed it in both ends to seal off our rocket ship. And then finally, you're going to glue your cardboard tube or your toilet paper roll, whatever you have there, onto the base of your rocket ship. Just glue it right on there and you're ready to play. How cool is that? All right, so if you do get the chance to make one of these little handy dandy cardboard tube spaceships, make sure that you share the pictures of your fun crafts that you make with us, so that we can get to see them too, all right? And you all stay safe out there. Make sure that you keep reusing items the best way that you can and doing anything that you can to help our environment, whether you're gardening, planting flowers, composting, anything that you're recycling or finding fun ways to reuse. Keep up that good work, okay? And share that with us on our Facebook page or through our emails. You can always just shoot me an email. Real easy, gretacarr@gmail.com. I love to see those things you all are doing out there, okay? All right, Miss Meek will be on to talk to you all tomorrow, and I will see you again on Friday, okay? Have a great night. Bye-bye.